Oh, so this is what happens when the afterbirth comes out first.
Welcome to the horror show. You realize there is nowhere to run. No, came to try. Paranoia is hiding your life. Welcome to the horror show. You realize there is nowhere to run. No, came to try. Obsessions rule your mind.
It's alive! This film, right here, is directed by a man who presented to us a movie about a giant killer dragon that roamed around the city, eating people and demolishing buildings. And he went from a giant reptile-like bird to a little deformed baby. This film has a PG rating, and that's pretty shocking considering the fact that this is a very disturbing concept and quite a bit of blood for a mid-70s film to be rated PG for. The story for It's Alive follows a young couple named Lenore and Frank Davis. Lenore is pregnant, and to make a long story short, she takes some drugs, and this is not really a big spoiler because it's not the main focus point of the movie. The main focus of the point of the movie is pretty much to find the baby and destroy it. Anyways, she takes these pills that are supposed to enhance her birth progression, so she has it quicker and make it more healthy, but it has horrible side effects, makes the baby totally mutated, and it goes on a slaughtering rampage. Now, the story I just described sounds like a horror movie about little terror running through the streets, killing people left and right without any mercy. Everyone wants it dead, and the parents are kind of like fighting for the whole thing. That's what you would be thinking, right? Well, no, that's why I love what Larry Cohen does for this film. He makes you feel so sympathetic for the characters, and so sympathetic for the baby. And the parents do have fights, but they bring up very good points. This is their child. And the father doesn't really realize that until near the ending, and Lenore is always trying to stick up for the baby, and it's very heartwarming because you don't want this baby to die, but at the same time you know that it might just have to. John P. Ryan plays the father, and he does a superb job. He shows little emotion at first. He's like, so, I want my name out of the press, but you want my baby dead, I'll sign the name away, I don't give a crap. But he grows. His character grows and grows, and you begin to not side with. You start off by not siding with him. You're like, yeah, he's the sleazy guy. He's kind of he's a good father, but he has some problems, and he could use some adjusting. But by the end of the movie, the whole thing switches, and he becomes this huge sympathetic character. It's like he was totally against having the baby live, but then he knows that it should stay alive. This is the best It's Alive movie by far. And let me just go over the sequels real quick. The second one, I lost a lot of the sympathy for the characters. It was kind of boring and uninteresting. The characters were not that well developed, and it kind of just felt like a mess. It was like a script that was written several times, and they just kind of got it right, so they shot it and brought it out into video. And then It's Alive 3, it's a lot better than It's Alive 2. Not only because it has more gore, and it's rated R, well, so is the second one, but it's also because you feel much more pity for the characters in this film, and it just works out very well. And the remake it has some decent parts, but I just feel that the parents just didn't really click. Like, they didn't belong with each other, and the whole time you're like, oh god, will this bitch just die? Anyways, in this movie, at first you feel that the mother should just like get it out of the camera. You're like, you don't want it on the camera, but then you begin to realize that she is just trying to stick up for her child. It's her flesh and blood. She doesn't want it to die, and I can totally understand where she's coming from. Well, actually, no, I can't because I'm not a girl, but I can sense that her feelings are very well acted in this film, and she has her heart in the right place. This film was taken seriously. It could have been a total cheese fest, but they did it right. Overall, I give It's Alive a 4 out of 5. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below, and to leave comments and subscribe.